Welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. Today I want to take a look at what's been going on in the market, as well as some super early projects that pretty much are going to have no info on them because they're that early. We're just going to look at some Twitters, but that's what you want, so ask and you shall receive. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice, and if you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button? So to start off, I want to take a look at a mint that happened last week. It's called Shadow Hats. This was an auction that sold 600 pieces, and they sold out at the top price of 0.2 Bitcoin, which is roughly $8,600 at today's prices. And these became tradable roughly 7 hours ago. And as you can see, they're currently trading for almost like a 45% loss. And if we quickly run through the trades, there has only been one trade that was actually profitable. So only one person of the 600 that were purchased was profitable. And the lowest sale was around 0.1 Bitcoin. So somebody took a 50% haircut in like 2 days. Now, obviously nobody forced them to bid at the top of the bids. There was a lot of FOMO. People just YOLO'd their money. So it's 100% on them. However, I do find it very common that Ordinals collections price their stuff really expensive. And in my opinion, this is one of the major reasons that the last Ordinals cycle died off. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen now. I'm not saying Ordinals are going to lose traction, floors are going to go down, mints are going to stop performing well, all that. However, last time we had projects that were really hyped, like Seize Control, which they were trying to sell them for, I believe, 0.14, don't quote me on that, above 0.1 Bitcoin. And these both failed to sell out. And these are currently trading for less than the price they sold at. We also had Lil Peepos. These were super hyped, and same thing. They were profitable for a short time, and then they just fell off a hill, and they were at a 90% loss at one point. They have recovered because Ordinals have recovered, and this is a notable collection. However, projects need to realize if you're going to be pricing your stuff really high or setting the starting price of an auction really high to push that FOMO and to get people to buy in, like, you have to leave the upside for traders, or else it actually could hurt your project and the perception of your project. Now, I know people like to think it's Bitcoin, this is different, it's about the art, and people don't care about money. I mean, tell that to the people who are right now selling at a loss, who lost thousands of dollars. Literally anybody who bought this right now is currently almost at a 50% loss. Meanwhile, the team made $5 million. So don't tell me it's not about money when the team just made millions, because I guarantee you the team is thinking about the money. Now, this is not to take a shot at Shadow Hats. I really like their art. I really like their branding. However, I'm worried we're going to see more and more Ordinals drops have these crazy high prices. Like when you look at 0.01 Bitcoin to an ETH person, that looks really cheap. But when you convert 0.01 Bitcoin to ETH, that's 0.17 Ethereum, which if a collection were to come out and drop now for 0.17, a lot of people would FUD it. Now, one Ordinal mint happening today is the Ninjas. They are minting for I keep saying minting. They're going on sale for 0.03 Bitcoin, which is half of an Ethereum. So 0.51 ETH, which again is quite expensive. However, a lot of people like this collection. I really dig the art. It's by Trevor. A lot of people know him. He's the founder of Ninja Alerts, which is a product a ton of people use. So I do believe this collection is going to perform well despite the high price. And I do have whitelist for this one, so I will be minting. Now, the second drop that is happening today is CryptoUndeads. You've probably heard about this one for the past 2 weeks. Pre-sale for this one was 2.5 Sol. The whitelist is going to be 3 Sol. However, if we look on Magic Eden, you can see there's currently offers for 19.5 Sol. So this is roughly what most people expected. I think what I'm seeing in a lot of chats, pre-sale was selling as high as 20 Solana. And all this is considering we have not seen what the art's going to look like. So it's either going to be, I think, a success or a major disaster. Either way, they're going to make a ton of noise. And same thing, I did do pre-sale for this, so I'm hoping they do well. We also had 40 spots for Gorilla Labs, which is over 50% of my members. So I really hope we all get a win, and I'm excited for this drop to finally happen. Next up, let's take a look at some upcoming projects. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm really not going to have much info on most of these. A lot of it's just going to be their Twitter, but this is what you guys wanted. So first on the list, we have MMMC, which literally nothing on their Twitter. We just have a little bit of art. However, this project is being handled by Conduct 3, which is a Web3 agency. And if we scroll their timeline, you can see see this tweet here where they say this may or may not be related to a project that we're cooking, and if you can guess the studio, you're going to get a head start. So obviously this is anime. I have no idea what this is, but luckily Raiden did figure it out for us, and here he mentions that it's Studio Toho, which is currently valued at $6 billion. Now, if we jump onto my anime list, we can see they have worked on 144 different anime movies or TV series or shorts. So they clearly have a ton of experience in the anime sector. And if we hop back to his posts, here he also mentions that they have partnerships with different artists. So it's going to be anime related. It seems like it's going to be music related. Also, the MC in MMMC stands for Music Caravan. So music related. I also heard that this is going to be a free mint. It's going to be a low supply. It is VC backed. So a ton of green flags here. So good luck getting whitelist. Next on our list, we have Ohayo Labs, which is a 600 supply collection on ETH by Rice Farmer. So this collection was made entirely by using AI. Rice Farmer says he trained the algorithm himself, starting off with hand-drawn pieces, which he fed into the algorithm, and then made tens of thousands of iterations until he finally got to something that he liked. I don't think he's done. I also don't think most of these pieces are going to make it in the final collection. However, he has been posting, they're called every days, not every single day, a lot of days he has been posting them, so you can see the evolution of his art over time. And this is really art for the sake of art, right? So there's no roadmap or anything like that. It's also, like I said, made with AI. Some people don't like that. I personally love AI art. I mess around with Midjourney all the time. I've even tried for my own PFP on Twitter making AI art. I haven't found anything I like yet. However, I am using it to work on some of my branding for threads and things like that. So like I mentioned, no roadmap. There isn't much info outside of that, although with no roadmap, you don't really need much more info. However, this is another project that I'm seeing gain a ton of traction, and a lot of people are asking for whitelist for it. Next up, with the success of Tin Fun, which as you can see are roughly around 0.8. And for those who keep asking, yes, I am still holding the one that I minted. A lot of people are going to be talking about what the next Tin Fun is. And I did see this post by Kinetic here. He even says, I found the next Tin Fun. I assume he's saying that because it's a Chinese artist. It's also art focused. And the project he's talking about is CybeReator. Now, same thing. We really don't have a lot of info on this project. If we scroll through the timeline here, you could see the first post they ever made was back in June. However, there hasn't been too much since then. A lot of the posts are both in Chinese and in English, so I'm thankful that they're partially in English. However, other than some art, which I personally dig the art, we don't have too much info. I do like how in the bio here they say upload your ghost, transcend beyond your shell. It does remind me a little bit of like Ghost in the Shell. However, same thing, no info on this project. I just dig the art, so hopefully there are going to be opportunities to get whitelist for this in the near future. Moving into Ordinals, our first project immediately gained hyped as this one is related to Taproot Wizards, which is one of the most hyped projects on Bitcoin. They even made it one of their quests to get whitelist for Taproot Wizards because they have this whole questing system to go and follow this project. And that project is Quantum Cats. Now, what we know so far, it's going to be a 3,333 supply dropping on January 24th. It is going to have art that changes and evolves over time. And they are currently running an auction for a 1-of-1 through Sotheby's. The highest bid right now is at $40,000, which, to be honest, I have to start bidding on this kind of stuff when the prices are really low. 40,000 is a big ask. Like it's a risk bidding $40,000. However, if you're able to bid really low, where either you don't mind buying it at that price or you know somebody's going to bid higher than you, if ever these projects or these artists do something like Sam Spratt did, where all of the people who bid on his first piece received a Skull of Lucy for absolutely free, which are currently trading at like $250,000, that would be really good. So maybe for this project, I have no idea if they're going to do this, but maybe if you bid, you get whitelist for Quantum Cats or whitelist for Taproot Wizards. That would be a really cool reward for the people who were interested enough in your project to place a bid. So that one is happening on January 24th. We have no idea what the price is going to be. The other Ordinals drop that I'm interested in is by Matrica Labs. They do have two previous collections. However, these ones are on Solana, but like I've been saying, art drops do really well on Bitcoin. We could take a look at Nakamoto Archives by Lifo. We spoke about this one last week in my other Ordinals video. I'll pin that one to the top if you want to go watch it. And this was a free mint, currently sitting at 0.06 Bitcoin. We also saw the golden ratio do well. This one is by Hardo. And just last week, we had the Persona mint by Rupture, which again also performed really well. So Bitcoin and art just seem to go together, and people really want to collect art on Bitcoin. Now, as for Matrica Labs, we don't know what the price is going to be. We do know the supply is going to be 256. They're also doing entirely through Whitelist. So if you scroll through their Twitter, you could see they've partnered with a few communities like Moonbirds and a few others. I don't know what these partnerships entail since the supply is very small, but I assume it means they're going to be doing raffles or something like that. Moving on into Solana, we have a couple of collections that are getting a ton of traction. The first of which is called Play Teddies. Now, again, literally no info on this. I can't even see what if they're even posting anything on Twitter because I don't have permission to follow them just yet. I do know it's going to be a 10K supply drop with a mint price of 1 Solana. We also have a message by the founder Fred here, who does say some of his insights on what his vision for this project is, and he wants to grow a global IP. So they want to do things from gaming to fashion to merch and media. And he also lets us know who the artist is. I believe this is pronounced Tainaker, who does have their own collection, which is a PFP collection called The Dreamers. So this just gives you an idea of what his art style looks like. The other Solana drop that I'm seeing a ton of people talk about is the Soul Marms. And same thing, literally no info other than what the art looks like. So let's just say this is all about the art and the vibes. I do know the founders are Bagley and Mike DiGilio, but again, it's all about the art, and sometimes that's all that it takes. I personally vibe with these. I think they look super cool. So this is another collection that I'm trying to get whitelisted for. Now, the last project I will mention today is not early. I've mentioned this one multiple times, but after the success of Overworld and now the back-to-back success of Exterio projects with Age of Dino performing well, it's again a no-brainer to go and get whitelist for Palio. Now, they've mentioned a few things. It's going to be a supply of 3,333. It is going to be a 100% guaranteed mint. So if you get whitelist, there's no overworld shenanigans where it's, 15% and then 25 and then it ends up being like 75% over allocated. And they also mentioned it's going to be an affordable mint. So I'm guessing they're not going to do an Age of Dino where it's like a 0.59 ETH mint. So definitely try to get whitelisted for Palio, because like I keep saying, the success of Exterio also depends on the success of the mints that they're doing. So they can't afford to not have good mints. That's just how I look at it. To me, this stuff is no brainer. I went ape on Age of Dino. I had some overworld spots. Both of them performed really well. So I'm going to be trying to get whitelists for this collection as well. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's projects that you want me to talk about, if there's something that's new that I missed, let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching the Crypto Gorilla. Peace.